Good morning, friends. Matt Greer here. This is the first of our weekday mornings with Matt for the 11th annual Quintessence Summer Choral Festival. And so I'm so pleased that you're joining us. I suspect that most of you that are joining us are folks that are registered for the festival. But if you found us through another way and you're not actually singing with us this week, we're glad that you are here too. So we are 2 days in to this very intense week. We are 2 rehearsals in for the mass chorus of Brahms' German Requiem, the first time that we have done this on the Quintessence Summer Choral Festival. And I have been telling everybody since the 2 rehearsals that we've had that I'm very much encouraged. It's always kind of daunting going into this week until we get through the first couple of rehearsals and realize that people have done their work and that things are gelling and that it's all going to be okay. It's not that we don't need the other rehearsals. We absolutely need the other rehearsals. But I've been really encouraged, and especially I think as over the past few years that people have been encouraging me to do the Brahms in this context. One thing people have said to me over and over is that I've done this piece before and I love it. And so I kind of took that to heart and have been counting on it. And then the extra preparation that I think people have done to get ready for this week. So Quintessence Festival singers, well done. We've got another rehearsal tonight. Keep it up. One of the things that I have mentioned that is unique to this performance is that we are doing, well, what I suppose is certainly the New Mexico premiere of a fairly new chamber orchestration of the piece. The original orchestration, although Brahms originally wrote it for 2 pianos before he orchestrated it, the original orchestration is pretty big. And let me just read it to you. It includes piccolo, 2 flutes, 2 oboes, 2 clarinets, 2 bassoons, contrabassoon, 4 horns, 2 trumpets, 3 trombones, tuba, timpani, strings, 2 harps, and ideally organ to kind of round out the sound. So that was the original orchestration that Brahms had in mind. I told the chorus yesterday that it had always been a frustration for me. Certainly it's been a frustration in some of the performances that I have heard of the piece, that it's just really difficult to balance with the chorus. And choral directors have all kinds of methods and tricks to try and get choruses to balance with orchestra, but some pieces are more difficult than others in that regard. And I think this is one of the most difficult in the original orchestration, as fantastic as that orchestration is. The first full performance of the piece had 200 singers. And I can imagine that that was fairly well balanced, but I also would imagine that it was a challenge when the full orchestra is playing up against the voices. So there is a German composer, arranger, flutist named Joachim Linkelmann that about 10 years ago did a lovely chamber orchestration of the piece that has been getting a fair number of performances in Europe. And so the orchestration that we are performing includes single winds, so flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, horn, timpani, and strings. And it's really interesting the way things have been reorchestrated from the original. It kind of, at least as I have been thinking about doing this in that orchestration since I discovered it, has kind of opened my ears to the piece in a new way. So I'm going to play a performance of one movement of the piece in that orchestration so you can get a taste of it if you haven't. And this is a performance of a chorus in Sweden, the Danderyds Folk Ensemble. And this is of the beloved 4th movement, How Lovely Are Thy Dwellings. Enjoy. That was the fourth movement of the Brahms German Requiem and the orchestration that we're going to be using this weekend. Now, you may notice that was a chorus of 16 to 20. And one of the reasons for this new orchestration was to come up with a version that would work with a smaller number of singers, a chamber chorus such as that. We are having more strings than that. It was originally written for, that orchestration was written for string quartet, and we've got about 3 strings on a part. And so that will fill out the sound nicely, and I think it'll be absolutely beautiful. It's been really lovely and encouraging as I've been, inviting some of my favorite players in town to do this project with us. How many of them have said, "Oh, the Brahms. I love the Brahms. Thank you for asking me to play the Brahms." Nobody has said I'll do it for free, but most people have been really appreciative of being asked to play. So we've got a great group of musicians collected, and they seem like they're really excited to do it. That performance, if you're singing in the chorus, you know well when the performance is. But if you're not singing in the chorus, let me just make a plug for the concert, which is happening this Sunday. That's July 30th at Visu Cleveland High School in Rio Rancho. And that's a fantastic hall if you've never been out there. It is a bit of a drive by Albuquerque standards. It's a bit of a drive, about 30 minutes probably from the center of Albuquerque, but an absolutely wonderful space for this. And we're very grateful to be giving that performance there. The first half of the concert is going to be a set of pieces by our chamber chorus, our scholars chorus of high school and college students who auditioned and applied to be in this ensemble. Some of them are in it for the second or third time. And we have our first real rehearsal this afternoon at 1:00. And so we can't wait to do that. All of them are singing the Brahms, but we've got a wonderful set of other pieces that they're singing as well. So tickets are at quintessence-abq.com, and I think they're priced very reasonably. So there are some other things going on this week that are open to the community at large. First of all, of course, Quintessence is very happy that we have the official beer choir chapter for Albuquerque. And every festival now we have a beer choir event. And tomorrow night, 7:00, we're having a beer choir event at Canteen Brew House with an extra S, evidently. And if you haven't been to Canteen Brew House, it's a wonderful space for this. It's just a great location, great food. And we're just going to have a great time from 7:00 to 8:30. And there will be prizes and there will be hilarity. And you should come and bring all of your friends. We do love for you to pre-register for our beer choir events. So if you can go to our Facebook page, there's a link there, and it's absolutely free. We just ask for your email address, and then sometime tomorrow, we'll send you a link to the official beer choir hymnal so you can bring that on your own. And we also just love to have a sense of how many people are coming. So join us for beer choir tomorrow night. And then another cool random thing is that we have a longtime supporter of Quintessence who has made a beautiful quilt that she has donated. And there's an opportunity for that. Oh, that looks so nice spread out on that. That bed looks very inviting. I'm tired this morning, I must confess. So that quilt could be yours. And there is a link in the chat, except I don't think I sent a link to my friend Sarah Langworthy, who's running this morning. So when we play the next video, I'll send Sarah a link that she can put in the chat that can take you to information about how that quilt might be yours. And you can also have an opportunity to own that quilt tomorrow night at Beer Choir. So thank you, and we hope you take part in that. This week, we also have been thrilled to welcome 4 fantastic young professional singers who've come in from all over the country. And this is part of our partnership with the Voces 8 Foundation. Most of you are aware of that fantastic a cappella group from across the pond called Voces 8. They have a couple of a cappella groups under their umbrella. Voces 8 has been here to Albuquerque many times, as has Apollo 5, their sister group. And they are all about education work. And we are thrilled that this year we started in partnership with the Voces 8 Foundation and St. John's Music Ministries, an educational project in 4 Albuquerque elementary schools. And as part of that partnership as well, for the last several years that we've been doing this festival, with the support of the Voces 8 Foundation, we have been welcoming 4 of their scholars. Every year, they have a cohort of young singers who form a chorus and get to work with them all year. They're generally young professional singers who are interested in ensemble singing and who are also interested in educational work. And so we've generally had a quartet of those folks, Voces 8 scholars, for the last several years. And this year we have Mary Ruth Miller, soprano, in from San Diego, California. Mary Ruth has been with us twice before. Ingrid Johnson, who's a wonderful mezzo-soprano from Colorado. Michael Martin, fantastic tenor from New Jersey, and Christopher Short, who's here for the second time, wonderful bass baritone from North Carolina. And they are right now, as I speak, some of them teaching voice lessons to our registrants, and they're going to be singing with the Scholars Chorus. You'll get a chance to hear them in that capacity. And if you've been fortunate enough to sit next to them in Brahms rehearsals, you know they know their stuff. Last night, at my home, the home that I share with my lovely wife, Amy, we had a benefit musicale for Quintessence, and that featured Amy and those 4 singers that I just mentioned. And I took video of the end of that musicale, and the audio is not the greatest, nor is the video, but I wanted to share it with you because it's perfectly lovely. The last thing on the program last night, excuse me, was Amy playing just one of the most beautiful Brahms solo piano works there is, the Intermezzo in A major. And that led into a final quartet performance by our Voces 8 scholars. So I wanted to play that for you this morning. This is Amy Greer playing the Brahms A major Intermezzo and the Voces 8 scholars singing following that. Enjoy. That was Amy Greer performing the Brahms A major intermezzo, followed by our Voces 8 scholars, Mary Ruth Miller, Ingrid Johnson, Michael Martin, and Christopher Short singing an arrangement of a Shaker song called Love is Little. And that song you'll hear on the first half of the festival concert this Sunday afternoon, sung by the entire Scholars Chorus. Hope you enjoyed that. It was a lovely evening last night. And we're so fortunate to have those singers with us. There's a banner there reminding you that there is a link that you can click on or copy in the chat if you want a chance to win that fantastic looking quilt. And speaking of winning stuff, every morning this week, we are going to have a trivia question. And the winner of the trivia question will win just like the coolest coffee mug you've ever seen, a new coffee mug with the Quintessence logo. Could be yours if you win, if you answer the trivia question, if you're first to answer the trivia question correctly. And so we're looking for just an answer in the chat box. And this morning's question has to do, unsurprisingly, with the Brahms Requiem. The Brahms Requiem was not premiered in its entirety, that is to say all 7 movements at once for the first time anyway. There were several premieres of different versions of individual movements before there finally was a full premiere. One of the early premieres was recorded to be kind of disastrous because one instrument in the orchestration had parts that were mismarked to indicate that that particular instrument was to play as loud as possible rather than sometimes soft, sometimes loud. And the recording, the information we have about that performance is that it was a disaster because nobody could hear the chorus over this particular instrument. So the question this morning is, what instrument was the cause of that disastrous first performance of one of those movements? What instrument played too loud during one of the first Brahms Requiem performances and drowned out the chorus? If you put the answer in the chat box, the first one to give me the correct answer is going to have a fantastic coffee mug. So even if you don't know, just guess something. Lori Zipper, organ is a fantastic guess. It's incorrect. Jen Bennett says bassoon, also a good guess. They can play pretty loudly, but it was not the bassoon that was the issue. There was one instrument that drowned out the chorus because where their part was supposed to say forte piano, it just said forte and fortissimo. And I can only imagine that that particular instrumentalist was exhausted by the end of that concert for having to play nothing but loud. Anyone else want to guess? Oh, Larry Allen has got it. It was the timpani that was the culprit. And I was sharing this fact with our timpanist for Sunday, who is Alexis Corbin, and she threatened to do exactly that during that third movement, to play nothing but fortissimo. Larry Allen wins the coffee mug. Congratulations, Larry. I hope you'll enjoy it, and thank you for playing this morning. So a couple of things coming up as we're wrapping up this morning. I'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. And tomorrow I'm actually going to have a couple of guests. I'm going to welcome our 2 marvelous soloists for this weekend's performance of the Brahms. Soprano Ingela Onstad and baritone Michael Hicks will be with me tomorrow at 10 a.m. Both of them are experienced at singing the solo parts of this work, so I'm interested in chatting with them about their experience of singing these fantastic solos. So join us tomorrow. That would be Tuesday, 10 a.m., as I chat with Ingela and Michael. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to be welcoming a dear friend, Ken Miedema, whom I hope some of you know or have seen here. Ken is a singer-songwriter based in San Francisco. He happens to be blind. He's a genius musician, and he has a particular fondness for the Brahms Requiem and actually has participated in performance of the Brahms Requiem as a singer, and I'm going to chat with him about those experiences. So Wednesday at 10 a.m., we will welcome Ken Miedema. We hope that you enjoy that. And then we will have Morning with Matt Thursday and Friday. Thursday after Morning with Matt, for our registrants, there is a virtual session that I would encourage you to attend. And this is a wonderful musician who used to live in Albuquerque, Dana Boyd, who is an oboist by background, is also a practitioner of something called body mapping, which is tremendously helpful for instrumentalists and for singers. And Dana is going to do a 90-minute interactive session. This will actually be via Zoom. And so registrants will receive a link about this, a 90-minute interactive session about body mapping for singers. And I'm thrilled that she's going to do this for us. I think it's going to be it's going to be so interesting. And I hope that you'll take part in that. So look for the Zoom link, registrants. And then, of course, just be here for the concert on Sunday, especially if you're a singer. But if you're an audience member, we would love to have you to fill the seats at Visu Cleveland Sunday at 3 p.m. for this performance of the Brahms German Requiem. Okay, friends, thanks for joining me this morning. And if you're a member of the chorus, we start at 6:30 sharp in the sanctuary tonight for another fantastic, exhausting rehearsal. Look forward to seeing you then. Until then, go practice. Thanks for joining me. Bye.